This is your complete travel guide to Londonderry, Northern Ireland's ancient walled city, and I'll show you everything, from getting around the place, what to see and do, and how to have an amazing time in this vibrant city that's famous for its very troubled past. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Derry, or Londonderry as it's officially known, depending on which side of the river you ask. It's a controversial issue for many, but to keep it simple, I'll just refer to it as Derry for the rest of this video. Please don't start a fight in the comments. Anyway, let's take a look at a map, and you'll notice that Derry is encased in an ancient wall. It's extremely walkable, especially along the River Foyle, and wonderfully easy to navigate. Most attractions are within a stone's throw away from each other, so this will be one of the least stressful cities that you'll ever explore. But let's start with probably the most modern and obvious attraction here in Derry: the Peace Bridge. It links the two sides of the River Foyle and is a symbol of unity following the Troubles. It's tranquil, scenic and ideal for photos, unless the wind is doing its usual Northern Irish thing and trying to blow you into the river. Walk along the riverfront for great views of the city, the bridge, and it's actually quite a stunning sight at night. I recommend that you start your actual tour of Derry at the very top of the city wall here, at the Visit Derry Information Centre. Pick up a free paper map, and if you weren't paying attention in this video, these guys will remind you of what to do and where to go. Literally across the street and on the wall itself, you'll see the first attraction on our list: the Tower Museum. It's an excellent presentation of Derry's history, from the early settlements to the Troubles, to the city's massive resurgence. The exhibitions are immersive and well laid out, and you'll learn more about the Siege of Derry in 30 minutes here than you ever did at school. It's fascinating and educational, and it's also here where you'll also find the Derry Girls Experience. This isn't some strip club, of course. For those of you who don't know, Derry Girls is Northern Ireland's most famous TV show, and this part of the Tower Museum houses some of the sets from the show. Now, I've never watched a single episode, so this was a bit lost on me, but it was still pretty fun to see the props, the behind the scenes stuff, and if you are a fan of Derry Girls, there's even a painted mural that you should check out that's a couple of streets away near the shopping centre. And from the top, you'll also get one of the best panoramic views of the entire city. The Tower Museum is the northernmost point of the wall, and the wall itself is incredibly old and very picturesque. Walking along it for just a minute or two leads you to the most iconic building in the city: the Guildhall, a stunning neo-Gothic building that overlooks the Peace Bridge and the River Foyle. It's free to go inside, and you absolutely should, because in here you'll find stained glass windows, exhibits about the city, a beautiful main chamber, and friendly staff members who will tell you all about this amazing building. It's the perfect place to start your journey around Derry, because everything else flows naturally from here, including the Peace Flame, the eternal flame that's always alight as a symbol of peace here in Northern Ireland. From there, you'll notice a slight incline into the 17th century city walls, one of the best preserved city walls in Europe. This is the only completely intact walled city on the island of Ireland, and walking along the walls gives you a stunning 360-degree view of the city. Perfect if it's a nice day, and perfect even if it's not. As you walk the walls, you'll see lots of the original cannons on display, including Roaring Meg, who sounds like a contestant from Love Island, but was actually a very loud siege cannon. You'll pass over Magazine Gate, Butcher's Gate, Bishop's Gate, basically lots of historic gates, but they're all very interesting. If you like medieval history, you'll love it along these walls. If you don't like medieval history, well, at least the views are nice. A short walk along the walls brings you to St. Columb's Cathedral, the oldest surviving building in the city. It's free to enter, peaceful inside, and filled with artefacts related to the Siege of Derry. Beautiful architecture, stunning stained glass windows, and one of the best kept cathedrals in Northern Ireland. And completely closed when I visited. Well, better luck next time. Whilst we're talking about the Siege Museum is dedicated to it. Personally, I found it incredibly boring because you've already learned all about it at the Tower Museum. But from the Siege Museum, walk towards the centre of the walled city, where you'll find this war memorial in a public square and the craft village, one of the cutest parts of the city. It's a reconstruction of an 18th century street combined with modern artisan shops. Great for souvenirs, coffee, food, and charming little alleyways that photographers love snapping pictures of. On the east side of the city is Foyleside Shopping Centre, Derry's main indoor shopping mall. If you want to escape the rain, which you probably will at some point, charge your phone or shop for things that you don't need, come on in here. It's modern, convenient, but nothing special that you haven't seen before, save for the Derry Girls mural nearby, as mentioned before. But you can't visit Derry without acknowledging the significant role it played during the Troubles. Most likely, you'll have heard of the Troubles, and how it kept Ireland in conflict for decades. To see the remnants of that, you'll need to leave the city walls to the west and enter the Catholic settlement of Bogside. Here you'll find the Free Derry Corner, a loud and proud sign / warning to free Derry from the shackles of Britain. You'll find the colourful Bogside murals, also known as the People's Gallery, no prizes for guessing what they're alluding to here, and there's memorials to the events of the infamous massacre of Bloody Sunday. The murals are powerful, moving, and an important reminder of the city's turbulent past. And the anti-British, anti-Protestant sentiment is still strong around these parts, so please mind your tongue when you're speaking to anyone around here. Just a few steps from the Free Derry Corner is the Museum of Free Derry. This museum focuses on civil rights, the Troubles, and the story of Bloody Sunday. It's incredibly well done, and if you want to understand the modern history of Northern Ireland, this is the place. I mentioned the word Catholic before. Well, the largest Catholic cathedral is just north of here, St. Eugene's Cathedral. It's a work of art, and definitely worth a few minutes of your time to explore. At this point, you've probably completed a full loop of the city. You're back near the Guildhall and Peace Bridge, which makes this entire city trip neat, tidy, and easy for anyone to follow. If you do walk across the bridge to the other side of the city, you'll find Ebrington Square, which is a nice public square, the DNA Museum, and the city's largest green space, St. Columb's Park, which is very pleasant to walk around if you've had enough of sightseeing. Overall, Derry is a historic city that's definitely not ordinary. But that's the idea. If this has tempted you to visit Derry, I highly recommend that you book your trip now. Okay Nin, I'm sold. What do I need to do? Well, you need to come here to Londonderry, as it's officially called, or just Derry if you prefer. Whilst Derry does have its own small airport, most likely you'll fly into Belfast International Airport and take a bus to Derry Station, located across the river on the east side of the city. Once you're in the city, walking is the best way to see everything, and everything is virtually right next to each other. Buses do run, but you honestly won't need them. Parking can be tight around the city walls, so I'd recommend parking in a big car park, like at Foyleside car park like I did. The cost? Derry is very affordable, and most of the attractions I mentioned in this video are free. The Tower Museum is definitely worth the price of admission, but you could probably skip the other museums if I'm being honest. If you're looking for a place to stay, anywhere within the old walls is fine. Try and stick to a chain hotel where possible. Is there anything else I need to know? Yes. The city uses the British pound, even though it's right next to the Republic of Ireland, which uses the euro. Please carry some cash in pound sterling, as you'll need it at some of the attractions that don't take card payments. The weather can change faster than your mood, so pack layers and waterproofs even in the height of summer. Book guided history tours if you want to understand the city's past, and I highly recommend booking a guided walking tour, which you can do at the Visit Derry Information Centre. Wear comfortable shoes with grip, as ancient cobblestones and hills do exist in this city. And finally, if you're pairing this up with a trip to nearby Belfast, check out my complete travel guide right here. If you found this guide helpful, like the video, subscribe and share it on your social media. Tweet me if you want guides for another city, and thanks very much for watching. See you in the next episode.